Okay, Kim?
Good evening. I had sent an email regarding a Twitter account. As you all know, Obama's administration had signed this little memo about open government directive. And through that, federal agencies all the way down have created different avenues in order to communicate with the public. So there's more of an open and communicative relationship between the public and the government. Twitter is a nice little way to do that because there's not a lot of need to continue to feed it, to be honest with you. You create the account, set it up, it's simple in that respect, and then you can just post comments here and there. The nice thing about it too, there's no conversation back and forth like some of the other social networking that's available online. So with Twitter, examples that have been utilized is SHA when there's been road closures because of excessive snow amounts or whatnot. Ocean City, Maryland is another town that actually utilizes Twitter, and things up as large as Department of Justice, NASA, and whatnot. So there's all different types of agencies at different levels that have utilized the system to communicate with those that decide to follow with the account. The nice thing about this is if Delaware Avenue is closed or if there needs to be notification about the trash schedule that's been altered, it's really quick and simple by our cell phone or by the computer to quickly provide this notification, and then those following will receive it instantaneously. And then if they do have any questions, they can contact Town Hall to get further assistance. So it's actually a request that the board allow the administration to create a Town of Elkton Twitter account.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
I suggest we do a Facebook page also.
We're going to come back.
Well,
Okay, because
maybe it's a good time then to discuss this a little bit. Parks and Recreation, after hearing about Holster, as I said, we have a lot of people that are really interested in knowing if there's been a change in a schedule with basketball, or if there's a change in a venue or whatnot, or anything of that nature. And Chastity actually has on her personal Facebook page has many of the parents that follow her and ask questions about Parks and Recreation things and aren't necessarily on a personal level. So they had requested that instead of a Twitter account directly for Parks and Recreation, that they actually have a Facebook page. The other great thing about Facebook, especially for that since they do event coordination, is that there's calendars that can be set up and the automatic notifications sent out to the people for that particular date of the event. So for that department in particular, that would be my recommendation also.
yeah, I would definitely recommend Facebook.
A lot of municipalities in Maryland says
They've already had lots of towns. I get update on several Maryland towns on Facebook every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we get a motion to accept the recommendation to have a Twitter account?
So move.
Second.
Second?
I said second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay. Any other further discussion?
What's the cost on that?
It's
I'm
free. I'm sorry, I should have known that.
There's no
Yeah,
cost.
it's completely free.
because
Well,
I'm looking through there.
It's not, there's no cost.
my time.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Me.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Okay. One thing I have is reappointment to the Elkton Housing Authority Board. Mrs. Emma Hayes, who resides at 104, number 104 at 150 East Main Street. She has been the resident commissioner on their board, and she'd like to be reappointed again. So I'd like to get a motion to accept her for reappointment.
So move.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Question before we go to that. Your reappointment is for what length of time? I think that ought to be in the minutes.
5 years.
Okay.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. That's all I have. Mary Jo?
I just have one thing. Delaware Avenue, I know we're scheduled for sometime this spring, but the water has just been laying. I know we've had a lot of rain, but it's been there since probably the snow melted on the sides. That swale needs to be dug out and graded so that water can go back into the creek. Can we send a letter of request to do that? Because
Usually they
with the
do.
warm weather, the
Yeah.
bugs, it's been laying there for weeks.
Usually they bring in a machine and do that. I don't know why. I know the notice to proceed has already went out to the contractor to start that work. So I don't know if that's what's holding it up or not. Usually Mike is in there doing that.
There's tonnage of soil and stuff on both sides of the road,
Yeah.
it's usually not left there either.
And I thought they'd wait before they go ahead and start the whole process.
Yeah, but with the kids now playing and people are walking and it's bugs, you don't want that just laying there. We can't wait. That's all I have.
Well, internally, even inside the park, there's a lot of wetlands that have spread and have developed. Of course, I don't know what you can do to prevent that from happening, but as we talk about moisture, that exists as well. That's all.
Gary?
I have two things. We really, as a board, hasn't really talked to too many people yet, but since we're being taped and everything, I'd just like to remind everybody that this census that's going on right now is very important to the individual, their family, especially to themselves, and then we start with the governments. And schools, I mean, all this time that's spent with this thing, it really comes down to that we need to activate this thing, and I know the town, and I know Kim's working on it very hard. But it doesn't hurt to reinstate, get your forms done, and get them back in there. And I have one other thing here. I recently informed Lois that it is my intention to resign my seat as town commissioner tonight and pursue my intentions to become the next mayor of Elkton. However, after discussion with legal counsel and reviewing the town code, I'm not planning to resign at this time. I am, however, planning to run for the office of mayor and will officially file suit. That's it.
All right, then I'd like to get a motion to have a closed meeting to consult with counsel for legal advice.
So moved.
Second.
You don't have to ask for public comment or anything?
No one has signed in.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You know what, I know you're mayor, and I questioned that before, and I know it's very important when you walk in the door that you have an idea who wants to speak, but I still think that same courtesy should be extended by anybody. I mean, I'm just one person.
All right, well, we'll discuss that before, so.
No, we never discussed it. I discussed it, but it was never brought to fruition. I don't know how anybody else feels, but I still maintain the same thing. This is a public.
I still need a motion for a closed meeting to consult with counsel.
I so move.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
All right, we will not be reconvening.